So we have a great program in store for today. Everyone knows it's football season. I'm sure many of you have already been to games already, but I know we oftentimes struggle with, looking at healthier recipes for tailgate because those tend to be like fattier, cheesier kind of recipes, and then just doing something to be physically active during the fall time. So I have, I can't believe I get the chance to introduce Adam and Lindsay over here. They are OSU Health Plan Health Coaches, and they've been great partners in helping OSU create a culture and environment of health and wellness here across the university. And so I'll just give you a brief bit of information about them. Lindsay graduated from the University of Dayton with a bachelor's degree in dietetics. She holds a health and wellness coaching certification through the YP4H Coaches program and is certified in adult weight management levels 1 and 2 through the Commission on Dietetic Registration. Lindsay has extensive expertise working with people in behavioral change weight loss programs and is very passionate about the philosophy of health coaching. She enjoys cooking and working out and is always up for a fun new adventure with her family and friends. And then Adam over here has graduated from the Ohio Northern University with a bachelor's degree in exercise physiology and has a health and wellness coaching certification through YP4H Coaches. He has worked in cardiopulmonary rehab and more recently in commercial exercise industry as a personal fitness trainer. He enjoys helping members achieve their goals, and his interests include weight training, running, sports, and outdoor activities. So please give them a warm round of applause. And we'll hold the rest of the announcements till the end of the program.
Hi guys, can you hear us okay? I think this is on. I don't even know if I need this. I might be too much of a loudmouth to have one of these on. So just let us know. But thanks, Lauren, for the introduction. I'm Lindsay, this is Adam. And these are some more introductions, just real quick, just so you guys know. We have been health coaches 7.5 years, and then I also was a previous health coach for the state of Ohio and have been working in different healthcare facilities too. So.
Yeah, and I've been health coaching here for 5 years. I was a personal trainer in a fitness studio, and I also worked at cardiac rehab. So it's kind of interesting going from that to health coaching. All right, so here is just a little bit about, I'm going to back away because I feel like I'm projecting, but a little bit about our programs at the OSU Health Plan. How many of you guys are familiar with kind of the OSU Health Plan and your benefits and what what we kind of have to offer? So it looks like most of you guys. We do the health coaching. We also do a little bit of health education. There's chair massage. The care coordination program is a little different than what we do. We have nurses that work with people with different conditions, and they get discounts on their medications. We have pharmacists, either the EAP counselors are in there, and the Buckeye Baby program, and the biometric screenings.
We just thought we want to show you guys where we're at, if you guys haven't heard of the health coaching program before and where we come from. All right, guys. So again, we kind of picked this topic, right, because it's football season. And if we kind of think about it, football season almost starts the holidays, right? Because we have football season, Halloween's coming up, and then we get into Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? And that can sometimes be when we start to treat ourselves and start making those extra goodies and maybe stop being as mindful about the choices that we're making, and makes it harder to maybe, maintain that weight or live that healthy lifestyle like we want. So we thought this might be a good jump start for you guys to maybe just make sure you're, trying to make those healthy choices throughout the football season and into that holiday season here. So just a little things to think about. So learn how to make your favorite tailgating dishes healthier and delicious. We'll kind of go over some different tips. Review pregame tips to stay fit. And then we're going to think about how to create that game plan to stay on track for you guys too. So hopefully that sounds all good. So again, more session overview, guys, of what we're going to kind of talk through. Some tailgating treats, as Lauren was saying. We have some good healthy recipes and different ways to swap out maybe your traditional tailgating recipes that could be more healthier but still taste delicious and flavorful. We're going to talk a little bit about the drinking, right, because everybody knows tailgating involves, right, some drinking. Alcohol or just extra calorie drinks that we're not really thinking about that can be really high in calories. So maybe we'll talk through some tips there. Creating balance. Again, we know we're going to have some beers. We know we're going to probably have some treats and stuff during this tailgating game, right? It's not about being perfect, but it's about saying, you know, if I have that brownie, maybe I don't need to have 5. Maybe I can have 1 and do some different things here and there so that I'm not overindulging all the time. Staying on track with exercise. Adam's going to talk about some good exercise tips for the game day fitness and even throughout that football season to help you guys stay on track and stay fit and increase that movement throughout the day as well. And then we also are going to just talk a little bit about making that plan. I think that's almost one of the most important things is, yes, you're learning all this information, but how can you use it in your own life to be of benefit, and what can you change in your own life to, you know, be living that healthier lifestyle or to stay on track like you want. And then we just have some information on some upcoming programs that you guys might be interested in and where you can go to sign up.
And they'll help you stay on track during the football season.
Yes. All right, guys, so we're going to start with the nutrition, okay? So let's first kind of talk through how we can set yourself up for success. So these might be some things to just start getting to think about is, you know, offer to organize the tailgating to have more control over the food options. I know that involves more time, right, with such busy lifestyles, but again, asking friends or family for help. If you have more control over what's being served or made, you might be able to, again, make some more salads or side dishes or fun veggie trays or leaner protein choices as opposed to just going to a tailgating party where, you know, you have to eat what they're serving. So that might be something to think about to take over a little bit and see how that goes. Offer to bring a side dish to ensure some healthy options are available. So whenever I go to a party, I make sure to bring a healthy dish with me because I know if nothing else is healthy there, at least I can grab a little bit of that healthy food that I'm serving for myself. And again, just kind of setting myself up for success there. Avoid hanging around the food tables to prevent grazing, right? And this could be kind of for any party we go to, but usually if you guys notice, oftentimes everybody's around that food table, right? So even just to get your plate of food, go sit somewhere else and kind of socialize with your friends there, because then you have to be mindful of standing and getting up and walking to the food table so you can kind of think through, do I really need that extra handful of this, that extra handful of that, instead of just having it be right there, you're talking, you're grabbing, and then you're not knowing really how much you're eating at that point. So that mindfulness factor. Eating a healthy, well-balanced breakfast or snack before the tailgating party, depending on the time of the game, guys. Sometimes people say, well, I'm not going to eat anything until that tailgating party, right? And then we're starving at that point, and you're going to eat anything, right? Our blood sugar levels are low. Mainly we want carbs during that time, right? So we'll start to eat and not really think and not really care about what we're eating. So it's good to still eat beforehand. Eat that good, healthy breakfast with a higher fiber, higher protein, or get a good, healthy snack in so that when you get to a party, you're not so starving. You can maybe make those better choices there. And invite a tailgating buddy to help support you. Could you, if you guys are really working together on wanting to stay healthy this tailgating season, could you guys set a reward system for yourself? Or could you guys, you know, email each other every week and say, okay, this game is coming up Saturday. What do we need to do to set ourselves up for success? So again, we all know some popular tailgating food. These are just a couple. When we think of, you know, appetizers, chicken wings are huge, right? But usually they're breaded, fried, come with a ton of calories, higher in sodium and those saturated fats. And they're normally served with ranch or blue cheese. And those dips, I mean, a little goes a really long way. There's a ton of calories and fat in the dip, let alone the chicken wings. So again, just kind of thinking through what might be higher in calories and fat here when we're thinking about this tailgating stuff. Another biggie, guys, right, is the hot dogs or brats or hamburgers, the processed meats. It doesn't mean we can't have it, but maybe we could start saying, okay, well, could I get some different options? And we're going to kind of go over this too. Or instead of eating 3 or 5 hot dogs, could I just have a couple and fill more up on maybe some veggie side dishes and fruits and different things that are also being served. And then again, our desserts. I love cookies. I love brownies. But again, there's that high fat, high sugar. They go so fast through our system, they don't leave us feeling satisfied, so that's why we can eat a whole thing of brownies or a lot of cookies at once because there's nothing our body is getting from it to make us feel satisfied. So again, guys, simple swaps. So when we talk about those brats, those hot dogs, so maybe we can think about choosing leaner proteins. There's the turkey hot dogs. If you get it nitrate-free, that's going to cut back on your saturated fat or the total fat that's in those hot dogs. If we're grilling, we could do some grilled chicken or grilled chicken or turkey breast. A side note about the ground meat, guys, make sure that it says breast meat on it, not just ground turkey or not just ground chicken. Especially with ground turkey, if it just says that and not the breast, it's going to involve that dark meat, which is going to have more calories, more fat in it. So make sure that the label says breast on it, not just the ground turkey again.
What do you think about the ground meat and how lean like it should be, like with those percentages? Do you have like a reference for that?
Yeah, guys. So thanks, Adam. So I don't know if you guys have seen, usually it's 80-20. Like if you just buy regular ground beef or regular, even ground turkey, it can have up to that 80-20. So if you can go more to the 90-10, Laura's beef, even if you have to have ground beef, you can get that leaner ground beef. That can be the 90-10 or even 95-5. So it's going to cut out a lot of that saturated fat for us. So thanks, Adam. And then beans, they're awesome choices. We can put beans into salsas. We can make maybe fajitas that are going to have beans instead of grilled chicken or grilled steak that are going to give us a ton of fiber and a ton of good nutrition. The sauces, so try to keep some of the sauces on the side. So I have some suggestions. So Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. I haven't bought sour cream for years. My family, we just use plain Greek yogurt, and even if I have friends over, they don't even notice. So that's kind of a fun thing. Greek yogurt has triple the amount of protein than regular yogurt, so you're going to get some good protein, which is going to help you feel fuller as well. Mustard instead of mayonnaise, the tomato-based sauces instead of the cream-based, and then think about that vinaigrette dressing instead of creamy dressings. So the ranch and all of those creamy-based dressing, guys, they can have a couple hundred calories and 10, 15 grams of fat just in a couple tablespoons. So let alone what else you're eating with it, like I talked about with those chicken wings. So again, just being more mindful here. Try to choose the higher fiber crackers and chips instead of just the potato chips and Doritos and stuff, which are good, right? But if we're choosing the higher fiber crackers and the chips that are going to give us those good, healthy nutrients, they're again going to make us feel more satisfied for a longer period. And again, plan veggies as sides. Can we get some fun ideas on Pinterest or from a different website that has some fun different salads or different things that you guys could bring instead of just, the traditional, a lot of like potato salad and macaroni salad and then a protein. Make sure you're incorporating some vegetables as well. So I thought this was kind of nice. It's just a fun visual that you guys can look at later. There's some really cool things you can swap out. So instead of using regular flour, you can do black beans, actually. And there's a recipe I have as an example of that later on. Sugar, a lot of times, is applesauce. You guys can use applesauce. You can also, butter, you can swap out for an avocado or banana. So there's kind of some fun things that you guys can do to, again, increase the nutrition and the satisfaction by cutting it and then cutting out some of those calories and fat as well. All right, guys, so grilling can be a very popular thing to do at a tailgating party, right? So these are going to be some tips just, again, to start thinking through how you could have healthier grilling. So again, we want to use those leaner proteins as we talked about. Some ideas could be wrapping marinated fish into foil. You make those little foil tents or even parchment paper, and then you guys can fill different vegetables and seasonings and do that on the grill. And it makes it really tender because you have all that steam and all the heat that's in those little pouches. So that can be really fun. There's some fun recipes out there. Buy skinless poultry or remove the skin before cooking or trim that visible fat because, again, that's going to cut out some of the calories for you. Grab some veggies or fruit, and you can grill all of that stuff on there. I have a kebab recipe that I'm going to share with you guys later on, but that's kind of an easy go-to that tastes wonderful. I mean, if you look at these veggies, they look pretty delicious, don't they? They're grilled, and they're delicious. You can put all different kinds of veggies on the grill, so that might be fun to kind of think about too. You can grill fruit. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but grilled fruit is so awesome. I mean, if you top it with Greek yogurt and nuts, you could kind of have a good, healthy dessert. Grilling fruit really gets the caramelization of the sugar in the fruit, and it makes it really even sweeter tasting than if you were to have it without grilling it. So, and again, spicing it up. Use half a cup of marinade or a tablespoon of a spice rub for every pound of food, just to give you guys a good visual there. And again, more examples can be found on heart.org or any website that you guys like to use to find different healthy recipes. I love Pinterest a lot because I love the visuals. Real Simple Magazine, I go to their website a lot for different healthy recipes. So again, a lot's out there for us here. And again, guys, just a note for our proteins, 3 to 6 ounces is a serving of meat. So if we kind of visualize the size of a deck of cards, or if you put your hand into a fist, that is kind of a proper serving of meat just for that visual. When we go out or even when we buy meat, sometimes we get, 10, 14-ounce steaks. And then the chicken breasts even now, they're huge. You know, they're 8 ounces unless you cut them up. So kind of maybe think about that too, that proper serving size. Some other ideas to think about when we're grilling, guys. So usually with the sandwiches, they're those big, huge buns. The buns can have so many calories. So maybe try a good whole grain bun for the burgers or in their hot dogs to give you some more fiber. Or they have the mini buns now, the mini whole grain hamburger buns. That'll cut back on calories, but still, again, give you some kind of bread. I use a lot of romaine or Bibb lettuce for a bun too. So if you guys are grilling up hamburgers or even hot dogs, you can get that big romaine lettuce or Bibb and put all the toppings on there, and that'll cut out a good couple hundred calories for that. Swapping out the sides, try healthier homemade versions of a baked potato or a potato salad or baked beans. So again, there's always little tweaks that we can do here and there that can help us cut back but still make it taste flavorful. And again, add lots of color. Maybe challenge yourself to grill 3 or more different colors of veggies to add to the kebabs. Get out of your comfort zones a little bit and just try some different things out here. So another thing that we like to do at tailgating parties is to order, right? And that's okay too. But maybe we want to consider where we order from so that we're setting ourselves up for success instead of, failure and going to a place that just has fried chicken and French fries, right? So maybe consider local grocery store options. They have veggie trays with hummus. They might have fruit trays. They might do the chicken and veggie kebabs. Bottles of water. So maybe having some of these healthier side dishes with your also favorite not so healthy dishes to balance it out a little bit more. I don't know if you guys have heard of Acre. It's a really awesome local restaurant that's right on High Street. Like if you go up Doddridge and turn left on High, they have a really cool game day bucket that they do that has really awesome local stuff for you to test out. And then that takes rid of you having to do it yourself. So there is a lot of options when we think about the catering too. Again, guys, if you love Cane's chicken fingers, which is very popular at a tailgating party, that's okay, but maybe don't get your whole meal from Cane's. Maybe you just have to have their chicken fingers, which is fine, right? Go for it. But maybe then say, okay, if I'm going to get these chicken fingers, could I do grilled? Or if I really want the fried, let's go for it, do fried, but then have other healthy sides available so that you're not just filling up on the chicken fingers. So again, give and take here. So I thought I'd just share with you guys some healthy recipes. This is a big popular recipe, right? The buffalo chicken dip. This is just a little skinnier version. So if you guys see, it has that Greek yogurt in there. I don't know if you guys can see right there. Cream cheese. You could do lower fat. I wouldn't necessarily do fat-free. Usually fat-free items add a lot of sugar and salt and extra ingredients. So if anything, just do the lower fat, not necessarily fat-free. There's still some blue cheese in there, right? But not a ton. So you're still going to get that taste of the blue cheese, but not go overboard with having to put a ton in there. And then the hot sauce, right? So really easy. This recipe, for example, guys, a serving is a couple tablespoons, I think about 3 tablespoons, and usually it could be up to almost 200 calories just for that, and 15 grams of fat. By switching it out like this, it's going to cut the calories in half and the fat in half. It's about 6 or 7 grams of fat. And again, it's still going to give you that taste. It's just not going overboard with having to put a ton of blue cheese and a ton of different other cheeses, and again, swapping out that Greek yogurt too. So, has anybody ever tried roasted chickpeas? Awesome, a couple of you. So this is my new favorite snack. And I've taken it to a couple of tailgating parties this year. And there's so many different fun ways to do a roasted chickpea. They're really easy. Again, chickpeas are so cheap. So I'll buy the canned ones. You want to rinse them and dry them as much as you can before you bake them. But throw them on a cookie sheet, olive oil, salt, pepper. That's kind of the baseline. And then after they're cooked, you can put all different kinds of spices on them. And they taste so good. They're kind of a good munchy snack to kind of go back to that have a lot of protein and fiber in them too, because it's a bean. So I thought this would be kind of fun if you guys want to try this out instead of grabbing for, some Cheez-Its or Doritos or something like that. This is going to be and make your body feel a lot more satisfied with what you're giving it. And they can be sweet or salty or savory, which is kind of fun. So you can do like a cinnamon sugar, or you could do a Parmesan. I love curry on it too. That one's awesome. So again, this is another example. Pasta salad can be popular, and we can switch up our pasta salad to make it a little bit healthier. As you guys can see, there's a lot of different vegetables. The cool thing about pasta salad is I'll literally look in my refrigerator and see what vegetables I need to use, right, before they go bad. And if you guys notice, there's only a couple cups of whole wheat pasta in this whole pasta salad, and it makes a huge bowl. So if you think through that a little bit, don't use as much noodles. Try to add some more vegetables to it and more texture to it, so that we're not just filling up on a lot of starches, we're filling up on the other vegetables. So you guys can kind of go through that. I like to put edamame beans in mine, or some kind of kidney beans, because again, we're going to get some protein, which will make us feel fuller for longer, and some good herbs. This also, guys, has some Greek yogurt in it, and it just makes it kind of feel like you're having like a creamy dressing, which is delicious. So these are some chicken, veggie, and pineapple kebabs, guys, that I make a lot. And there's a marinade if you wanted to kind of check that out. But kebabs can be so awesome. And again, not necessarily have to have rice with it, right? We could just do chicken and veggies and the pineapple and each get a kebab at a party and put that on your plate, and it's awesome. So it doesn't necessarily have to have the rice with it either. Has anybody tried black bean brownies? Everybody, I know some of you are like, well, what is she thinking, Lindsay? These are actually awesome, and I've brought them to parties and not told anybody that there's black beans in them, and they love them. So they make them really moist. They're still sweet with a little bit of honey, the cocoa powder. You can do coffee grounds. You can put different extracts. I've done like a peppermint extract around the holidays, and that's delicious. But you swap out the oil or the butter with black beans, and it is so good. So I encourage everybody to try this, even if you think it sounds weird. But again, it can cut a good 100, 150 calories out of your brownie. I still put some semi-sweet chocolate chips in there, and that's okay. So this is delicious, I promise. And guys, all of these recipes, I put the website on there too. You guys can go check it out more here. So real quick, rethink your drink. Again, I think we forget that how many calories drinks can have, right? Whether it's a juice that's not 100% fruit juice, and we have those big containers now. So again, these are just some simple things to think about. Maybe have a big pitcher out there at your party that is filled with fresh fruit, like strawberries and blackberries. I love to do fresh ginger and lime in my water. I'll do bananas and strawberries together, and that water kind of takes on the flavor of that fruit as opposed to putting some little, like Crystal Light or something like that. It's going to be more natural for you guys. So that might be something to think through to stay hydrated here. Alcohol, that's a biggie for these parties, right? And obviously we're going to have some, but think through maybe moderation. Usually they're saying the dietary guidelines is 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks for men. Well, sometimes we have a little bit more during tailgating parties, right? But again, maybe think about what choices you guys are making during these parties. A regular beer that's only 12 ounces is 150 calories. And that's just for a regular beer, guys. I love Belgian beers, and they can have 300, 350 calories per beer to them, okay? So if you have 2 or 3 of those, that's more than half your calories for the day without eating anything. So again, think through what you guys kind of like to drink, and you can always say, okay, how can I maybe moderate and balance this out a little bit more? Could I have something to drink and then some water, and then go and have something else to spread it out? And even if you guys aren't drinking alcohol, think through what you're drinking. Pop, that has 45 grams of sugar per can of pop, okay? And that's just for the small one. So, and 145, 150 calories. So if you're drinking pop all throughout the day, that's going to add up. Fruitopia or different containers of different juices that are have the added sugars in there, they're going to have a lot of calories. Gatorade has a lot of calories and sugar. It's not really needed for somebody that's at a party or that's not active, right? So think and even look next time you're drinking your drink, look at the label a little more closely and kind of figure out how much you're drinking and how many calories that could be in a day's time, and you might surprise yourself. So again, guys, I've said balance a lot, and I think that's important. I'm not saying that you can't have any beer. I'm not saying that you guys cannot have your chicken wings. But again, like we said, let's maybe think through how to balance it out a little bit more. So you don't have to feel deprived of your favorite things. I'm a dietitian, and I love brownies and cookies and chicken wings and pizza. But maybe I have a big salad with my pizza, so I'm not just filling up on pizza. So be picky. Choose 1 or 2 things that you can't pass on and maybe cut back in other areas. Think about the portion control. We've talked a little bit about serving sizes. A thing with portion control that I use a lot, guys, I visually think of my plate. And ideally, we want to try to fill half of our plate with vegetables if we can, 1/4 of our plate with that leaner protein. So again, the 3 to 4 ounces, 3 to 6 ounces. And then the last 1/4 of your plate is going to be those good, healthy whole grains, the starches, and I wouldn't go over about a cup. So if you do a cup of whole wheat pasta or the quinoa or couscous, or fruit is also a carb. So kind of think through that, and that's kind of a nice, easy visual to think through too when you're putting your plate together. And then, again, keeping up with your exercise routine, which this guy's going to talk about here. So.
All right. I'm going to steal this, and I'm going to walk over here so we can work the other side of your neck. All right, so the nutrition information was great, but this is the more fun topic. And if you set nutrition goals and you fail, we can always fall back on my topic, which is exercise. All right, so planning ahead, we talked about why it's important to plan ahead. The football season, it gets us closer to the holidays, but the holidays are just a couple days and a couple months. The football season is 4 or 5 months. So if we can make changes as we get into the fall, that will help us build some momentum as we get into the holidays and help us stay on track, which is typically the hardest time of the year. So planning ahead, we just want to make sure that you really think about your day. Is it realistic to think about, I'm going to go to this tailgate, I'm going to have a great time, I'm going to exercise right after that? It might not be the best plan. So can we sneak something in the morning And if we're unable to do either one of those things while we're at the tailgate, can we do other things that will help us just kind of stay active and burn off some of those calories that we might take in at the game? And sometimes unplanned calories happen. When I was at my last Ohio State tailgate, I was walking into the stadium, and I just walked by a waffle table, and people just gave me waffles with toppings, and like everyone's so nice, and if you have a Ohio State jersey on, it's like your family there. So it's hard to get to your seat sometimes even. All right, so these are 4 strategies that I like to use a lot, especially when you don't have a lot of time. So we're not able to get to our gym and get in maybe 3 to 5 days a week of our our really good workout. If I'm really pressed for time, how can I get effective movement in and really stay on track with activity? And what I like about a lot of these is that you can get really effective workouts in just 10 or 15 minutes. So it doesn't have to take a lot of time. Everyone should have 10 or 15 minutes. So we'll touch on most of these. The brisk walking, if you're unable to do the different types of interval training, the circuit training, and we'll show you the 7-minute workout. Brisk walking is a way to get in some activity. And just to give you a reference, when you're sitting in your chair, you're burning about 60 calories per hour. And if you're sitting longer than that hour, it slowly starts to become less. If you're walking around, you're burning typically a little more than 100 calories per hour. So brisk walking, you're getting more than that. And if you're stair climbing or you're doing something more intense, it's about 200 calories per hour. So that'll give you some reference when you think about what kind of activities can I squeeze into my day here. This is a high-intensity interval training. How many of you guys have heard of HIIT training, or how many of you guys have done HIIT training before? This is great because they really recommend that you do it 2 or 3 times a week. It's not something that you want to do every single day, but you can do it with anything. I've used a jump rope, a step box. I've used the spinning bike. I've used it with weightlifting even before. But this is just an example of a program that I used. Every 2 weeks, you can see that the intervals slowly start to change. So either the intense phase gets longer or the rest period starts to get shorter. And after 8 weeks, you're really forcing your body to make some changes. And you can see that, the first couple of weeks it's 14 minutes, and even as the time adds up, it's still just 20 minutes, which is really great. And you guys can have this and keep it as a reference if you want to try it with some different things. But it's really 15 seconds of really high intensity movement, followed by 60 seconds of low intensity, and that might even be rest. So you might even just be stationary and catching your breath, or just doing something really slow. So that's high intensity interval training. Circuit training is a little bit similar, but in circuit training, we're lumping exercises together and not taking breaks and getting our heart rate up. So if you're not a big fan of aerobic exercise, you could do this with weightlifting, and you could stream together some exercises and just move from movement to movement. And I recommend that you pick exercises that work different muscle groups. And typically I'll start with my legs and I'll work my way up. So I might do like a squat, and then I might do a lunge to work my quads and then my hamstrings. I might do a push-up to work my chest, like a row to work my back. And then you could do, like a shoulder press for your shoulders. You could do a bicep curl. You could do a tricep press, or like a dip or something. But that way you're working each muscle group with a different exercise, and you're just streaming through maybe 10 exercises. And then you might do a few rounds of that in the circuit training example. This is the 7-minute workout. How many of you guys have done the 7-minute workout? I know that OSU has advertised something like the 7-minute workout before. The New York Times had it in one of their articles, and this is actually from that. But the app is really nice. It takes you through the 7-minute workout. It even gives you little rest breaks in the 7 minutes. So if you really are not meeting your exercise goals, you want something that you can do that works your whole body, this is a great tool. And on this next slide, we're going to show you some different tools. If you don't have a gym, you could do these things at home. You could do them even at work if you're allowed to do that. But the Fitness Blender site, I really like. It was voted the best exercise website last year. And there's all kinds of videos on there. You can tell them that, if you have no equipment, if you have equipment, you can pull up videos. You can say how much time you have. They'll have tons of different ideas on there. You can follow the different trainers. And then the Nike training app, I really like, because same thing, they'll put it on your phone. They'll tell you what exercise to do, and then they'll tell you to switch. And you can just set your phone down and follow along with the exercises, which is really great. Mapmyrun is... I didn't use it a lot when it first came out, but when I thought of Mapmyrun, I just thought, I'm going to plot out my running path today or my walking path. And now, it can track all kinds of different types of exercise. So it's a great tool to use now also. This is the Couch to 5K program. So if you're not a seasoned runner or you're coming off an injury, you want to ease back into your activity, the Couch to 5K program is great. It starts you with just walking. You're walking and jogging. And then at the end of the program, you're able to run a 5K. So that's really great. And then that's the 7-minute workout. In the 7-minute workout, they give you a couple variations of these different movements here. And then you can pay like 99 cents or something to unlock a bunch of other workouts. And they'll kind of mix things up for you as you go along. So I think it's great to save time. Game day fitness ideas. So if you're looking for different ways to be really active on game day, I like to incorporate lots of different games. I'm really competitive. So cornhole, this is football toss. But frisbee, backyard football, I play this game. I call it hillbilly golf. But I'm not sure what other people call it. My in-laws, they call it swingy dingy. It's got like golf balls with like a string tied on it, and you kind of sling it around the yard. But that, that's another example of something that you could do. And then when we're at the game, can we park further away? Michael just told me that he's having a hard time with his CX pass trying to find a spot to park. So he's been parking farther away and walking in. That's a great way to get in your steps game day. Taking the stairs. Think about maybe not getting the A seats, get the C seats so that you're way up in the sky and you're walking on those stairs and you can see the whole game. That way the A seats are available for me when I want to get closer to the field. And then, so going for a walk with your friends and then just checking out like what's around. The vendors, it's going to be 90-some degrees tomorrow, so make sure you go and get some extra waters and things like that, or waters between your alcoholic beverages that you may decide to consume. And then other things, I really like this, and some of these especially fit in for if you're at home. If you're not at the game, what can I do for the football game? And I love the creating the fitness challenge. I've done this before, where every field goal you might challenge your friends to do something. Every touchdown you guys might do something different. RTC, they're down there doing the push-ups. Can we do something like that for the score? And sadly, you might not have to get in that much exercise. We're getting better as a team, so maybe by the end of the year you'll be really active. And then the halftime fitness breaks, get out, get some steps. It might be a good time to maybe get a little snack, but just that might be a great time just to get away from your seat. And then not allowing yourself to sit as much. So, you might hear like sitting is the new smoking, like they talk about that a lot. It's like the next thing that we're really looking at. And that's kind of true with sitting. It has to be really prolonged bouts of sitting. Usually, I want to say more than 9 hours is when you start to see big problems with how much you're sitting. And just to give you guys like a few things, when I think about sitting, I think about our body. When we're standing, we're producing enzymes. It's helping kind of break down fat that's kind of floating through your body. So as soon as you start sitting, you stop producing that kind of enzyme. After really long bouts of prolonged sitting, your HDL, your good cholesterol, starts to become less effective. And then if you're sitting a lot, that's when even insulin sensitivity and stuff can start to change. So that's something to think about. Can I get up during commercial breaks and go fill up my water? Can I go for a walk at halftime or something like that? All right, so this is what we do in health coaching. Just talking about creating an action plan. A lot of people will set goals. They think about goal setting as like New Year's. New Year's, I'm going to do some goal setting. But goal setting is great to do for anything. It doesn't have to be health and wellness. It could even be with your finances or something like that. But can I have an action plan? And it doesn't have to be some really big lofty thing, but can I do small things that will add up to bigger things? So let's talk about this a little bit. We use the Wellness Vision tool. I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar with the Wellness Vision tool, but it's really what your long-term goal is. So you have something that you're working towards. It may be 6 months away. It may be a year away, over a year away. But it's how you want to look and feel. It's something that is not going to happen in the next month or the next few weeks. It's something that you're going to work towards. But I think it's important to have this in front of you. If you don't have a wellness vision, you might have small goals, but you really don't have necessarily a direction that you're working towards. And when you have a wellness vision, you're like, okay, this is what I'm working towards. What are the stepping stones I'm going to have to take to get to that wellness vision? And we'll show you some examples of a wellness vision here. So I'm strong, lean, 10 pounds lighter. I make a priority to nourish my body with healthy foods, physical activities, daily meditation. I have energy to play with my kids. So you're connecting some of these healthy behaviors with like what's important to you in your life. And so that's really what the wellness vision is. And then when we talk about the stepping stones, these are the goals that we're setting. And why do we set goals? They're directive, they can be energizing, and then they make you be more active or mindful. If you have goals, you're just kind of practicing things, you're turning these things that you're practicing into habits, and it's becoming easier. That's always the goal. So our action plan, there's the SMART acronym. It's, when you create a SMART goal, it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So I'm going to walk for 20 minutes every Saturday during football season, during halftime. And my confidence is an 8, and that's on a scale of 1 to 10. When we're setting goals, we want to make sure that this number is a 7 or more. If it's less than a 7, that might mean it might be too lofty of a goal, and there may be too many barriers that are getting in your way to reaching that goal. And if that's the case, if you think, I'm setting a really good goal here, but, a 5 or a 6, it may happen. You may have to make that goal a little bit easier, and that's always okay, because we're going to have success, and we're going to build on that success. Let's see. So this is our website. It's called Link to Health, and there's the address here. But everyone has access to this, and you have a My Plan tab, and these are where our goal-setting tools are housed, and anyone can use these. We go over them in our health coaching program, and actually people get 1,000 points in your Plan for Health for completing these, and actually get a $50 OSU Fitbit store credit this year. But the Wellness Vision is here, and it'll open up into a template. It'll walk you through how to set your wellness vision. You can add as many SMART goals as you want, and then you can mark them as met or not met, or you can edit them. And then there's a journal space where you can just track really whatever it is that you want to. And this page is really just for you. So if you want a place to kind of make some of these goals, that might be a great place to do this. These are some events coming up that are going to help you guys kind of stay engaged and active. We have the Hit the Road Challenge. How many of you guys have a Hit the Road team already? So just a few of you. It's going to be important starting October 2nd that will happen. And it'll be a step challenge. We're going to try to get as many steps as it takes to get to the away teams or something like that. It's usually the theme of the Hit the Road Challenge. And it's for teams of 10 people. And it'll start, and usually you can sync up your device to that, and it makes the tracking a lot easier. And then we have Fall into Fitness. It is a group coaching webinar series. I think Michael might be in the audience that might be leading the Fall into Fitness. And then we have health coach Sarah that's right outside, and she's going to be leading Boost Your Brain Power with Exercise, and it's also 4 weeks. And then we have Build Your Own Exercise program. So if you don't have access to a gym or like a trainer, somebody who can help you with this program, you don't have instructors around you, this is a way that you can build your own program with the goals that you have and the stuff that you have access to. And I think Lauren was going to make an announcement about an event that's next Friday, and I'll let her do that at the end. All right, so just these are more about our program. So in health coaching, some of you guys are familiar with it. We're just here to talk with people about their goals. Usually it's telephonic, it's over the phone. It can be in nutrition, exercise, weight management, stress, tobacco cessation. But it's really driven by you and what you want to work on. We don't have an agenda. We're just here to help connect you to resources and kind of set goals and meet those. And then you decide when you're graduated and you feel like you can do things on your own. But we're always there just to give information. And we do a lot on online now. We do group coaching. We do a lot of educational webinars on different topics. We come to you guys. If you guys have a unit that would really benefit from some quick exercise or some stress management or some tips about healthy snacks, we'll come and work with you guys maybe during an all-staff meeting or something and can help you guys with whatever you're interested in doing. And the Buckeye Baby program and health education there. And there's me right there. And that's Lindsay. You can't, I mean, she looks a little different, but.
After 2 kids, right?
Yeah, that's right. So any questions about, anything nutrition or exercise related, or wanted to save some time for you guys? We'll let Lauren make her announcement about next week's activity.
Well, why don't we give Adam and Lindsay a warm round of applause? Okay. So how many of you are aware that we have a Buckeye Wellness Path on campus? How many? Okay. So Your Plan for Health is launching the Hit the Road Challenge next Friday at the Take a Lap event. This is their 8th annual year of actually doing this program, and so we're doing a big launch event on the Buckeye Path to Wellness. The information is available on the Your Plan for Health calendar. The event is Friday, September 29th from 11 to 1. So I advise you to go check out the calendar. We're going to be there with water bottles. We're going to be there with Kind Bars. So the first 120 or so of you to show up is going to get a free water bottle and snack. Otherwise, I'd say bring your own water bottle. But there will be other chances to win a Fitbit Blaze and some of the throwback Your Plan for Health Hit the Road with the Buckeyes shoelaces that were really popular. So I really encourage you to attend. And if you have any questions, we have the microphone, so we just don't. If you could just raise your hand, and we'll come to you with the microphone, so our webcast attendees can also hear what question you're asking and get the answer. So do we have any questions? Anyone? No? All right. No. Oh, here. Oh, you're okay. No problem.
For next Friday's event, it's open house style, correct? You show up anytime between 11 and 1, and you can join the walk and participate. Okay, I just wanted to confirm I had that right.
We will be there. We will be there stamping passports and helping people fulfill their goals for that day.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much,
Thanks,
guys. And they'll stick around if you have any private questions you want to ask them.
Ooh, private questions. Ooh. It's like Lindsay's all about private questions and answers today.